Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Clearing the Ice. I am your host, Mike Laro. Tough one for the Flyers today, as they were kind of sleepwalking. If you watched the game, you probably would agree with me. Man, just a really kind of a lackluster performance by them. Uh, they fall today to the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, 7-4, and it just seemed like the Flyers couldn't get out of their own way, man. I watched this game from the start of it all the way to the end of it. And, some of the things that the Flyers did today really had me baffled. They kind of left Erickson out on an island today. Like, the defense was non-existent today for the Flyers. I'll tell you what, man. To me, to let a team like Anaheim come in here and do that to you, they kind of punked them. I mean, Nick Dolores, tried getting the crowd going early on, dropping the gloves and fist fighting. But I'll tell you what, like the Flyers just couldn't get out of their own way, man. They really could not get out of their own way. And being a Flyers fan and watching this game, it had to be frustrating because they had chances to get back in this game and to get back in this game early. And I thought the wind kind of took their sails early in the second period. When Frank Verano, was it Frank Verano? Veterano. Of course, he goes on to get the hat trick today, against the Flyers, but he scores, he scores the hat trick, but his goal in the second period, our vantage point, you couldn't see anything. Comcast Sportsnet Philly didn't really have a good angle of it. I don't know how they called that a goal. Still wondering, but even still, if you take that away, it's 6-4. Flyers defense was just not there. Joe, our buddy Joe AL checking in. What's up, Joe? It says the positive from the game, the power play movement is going to be good when finally get going. Yeah, problem is, Joe, they got to work on being a little bit better on the penalty kill. Their special teams today wasn't that good. They gave up 2 power play goals and a shorthanded goal. Verano's goal, his last one to get the hat trick, was a shorthanded goal. So they got to keep up a little bit. But, guys, this isn't going to be a long one today. You guys can check out my article. It should be up within the next 24 hours here over at edgeofphilly.com. I did write about the game today. So if you want to check that out, make sure you definitely do that. But getting back to this game today, we're going to start off. We're going to do first period first. The goal, it gets started early, man. 57 seconds or 58 seconds into the game, Ryan Strome, wrist shot with a assist from Mason McTavish, goes by Erickson, and it gives Anaheim that quick 1-0 lead just to start out the game. And basically from there, man, it was just kind of downhill. Like it's like a snowball. It just kept building. We go a little later on down the first period, and the aforementioned Frank Verano scores the first goal on a snapshot past Erickson. The assist, Cam Fowler and McTavish, both of their seconds of the game. So that right there, leading to a 2-0 after the very first intermission. It was a 2-0 game after the first. The Flyers would rebound in the second period. First 5 minutes of the second period, they were on fire. I mean, in their zone, couldn't do. They did everything but put the puck in the net. And, again, you got to give the Anaheim netminder some credit there, man. He really stood his ground. He blocked again, but the Flyers made it real easy for him too. You can't go taking shots and not getting anybody in the way of him. So with that being said, the first pretty much the first 7 minutes of, I'll say the first 6 minutes and 55 seconds, the Flyers really kind of handled was putting pressure on the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. Again, they hit a couple posts just wide of the net. Like, this is a case of the Flyers. What could go wrong did go wrong today. So with that, man, you got to just kind of brush it off. Hopefully they get it out of their system as they get ready for Carolina to come in here. Frank Verano, again, he starts the scoring off in the second period. He puts the puck in the net, and it is now a 3-0 game. And with that being said, you're like, oh, here we go. And literally, that was at the 6-minute 58 mark. Literally 2 minutes and 30 seconds later, Adam Henrique scores from Max Jones and Jacob Silversberg to give Anaheim a 4-0 lead. And literally, you're looking going, this is not good. I don't know why he didn't pull Eriksson after this game, because a couple of those goals were kind of So with that being said, we go down to the 11:49 mark of the second period. And on the backhand, Cam Atkinson breaks the Flyers over, getting an assist from Owen Tippett and Cam York. And that would pull the Flyers within 4-2. And that's how your second period would end, with 6 goals on the board and a 4-2 Anaheim Mighty Ducks lead. Okay. Where's that? Oh, I'm sorry, jumped off. Yeah. All right. So after that, like I said, they would go into the third period with a 4-2 lead. Break down a couple comments real quick. Joe Sullivan that joined. Make sure you check him out over on the Out of the Box Network every Monday night. Joe, I'm pretty sure you are happy. You're happy but not happy. You're going back to your regular time with all this early stuff with the Flightins. Guys, yeah, definitely make sure you check him out. He also does a good baseball show over there as well. So make sure you check out our boy Joe Sullivan over there on the Out of the Box Network. Joe checks in, says, "What's up, Mike? What's going on, big man? Hopefully you and little Joey, are having a good one today. I've seen you guys out and about." He said, this Flyers team has some grit, bro. They do. And it's actually kind of shocking. Joe says 1 or 2 more good drafts. The Russian kid coming over, Gunther coming. This team will be good. Heavy defense the next 2 years. Joe, I could see them doing that. I could actually see them going out and spending their free agent money on some big-time free agents. So, yeah, this team is gritty. And I got to give Pat Bernard a lot of credit, even though I call him a dope every Sunday. Pat, I will say this, and all joking aside, he's one of the hardest working guys here on EOP. Not to take anything away from the other guys here. I just know what my broadcast partner does, and between everything that he covers, man. But he called this. He said, this Flyers team might surprise some people. I really don't want to see them make the playoffs. I want to see them get that higher draft pick, the better players. But, Flyers got a lot of cap issues that they got to get rid of. They got some people on there. They got to get rid of some dead cap. So hopefully they can do that. But getting back to Pat real quick, Pat was supposed to do this today. Me and Pat actually swapped places. He took over for me Thursday night. So, of course, my first game that I got to do for the Flyers, it's a home loss. Go figure. I didn't have to do many of them last year, now did I? But, so, yeah, I just thought it was kind of ironic. Pat is actually covering the Union right now, and I believe he's going to be gearing up ready for the 76ers as well. So, we kind of got a full plate around here, me and my other half on P&M and the AM. Joe Sullivan says, exactly, bro. Clear the cap space and strike within 2 years. Yeah. I did argue with Matty B about this. I did say that they were a lot closer than Matty B's 5-year plan. I don't think it's going to take the Flyers that long to be better and to be back up amongst the elites in the NHL. So with that being said, guys, we're going to move on to the third period. I'm just going to recap. This period, the defenses, the goaltending, they both, for both teams, stayed in the locker room because this is where this game became a shootout. And if you were watching, it was pretty fun, except you just kind of knew the Flyers weren't going to be able to pull it off. They kind of dug too deep of a ditch for them to get out of. But we're going to start, man, and we're going to get down, and Trevor Zagaris, Trevor Zagaris on a wrist shot gets his first goal of the season with the assist to Ryan Strome. It's now a 5-2 lead for the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. And then literally not even 30 seconds later, Brett Leeson with another wrist shot with Sam Carrick and Ross Johnston with the assist, put them up 6-2. Excuse me 1 second. 6-2. And you knew the writing was kind of on the wall there. Joe says, I agree with you, Mike. 2 to 3 years. Yeah, Joe, I agree with you. Joe says, Mike, no offense, but Penn State stinks. Why, did they lose today, Joe? I know they were like a heavy favorite, and I saw it was close. It wouldn't surprise me if they lost. You already heard. If you watched last week, you saw my rant on James Franklin. He's an idiot. So as long as that dude's there, hope they'll never win. I give up watching them after they lose to Ohio State every year. At least, if I'm the schedule makers, at least can they put Ohio State and Michigan towards the end of the year for us? That would be greatly appreciated, just so I can have a nice season to build up to before we get screwed in the end. But anyway, enough. Joe says, no, they barely won. No, that's not a shocker. That's not. Anytime I see them up, as much as they were favored by, you kind of got to stay away from that. But let's get back into this here. The Flyers would answer back, and literally within Brett Leeson's was at 3:14. So about 6 minutes later, Travis Konechny would connect on his second goal of the. He would connect on his second goal of the game today. He's off to a hot start. This guy Verano, and he's one ahead of Konechny right now. The assist was Couturier and Bobby Brinks. Bobby Brinks, I thought, had a very nice game for the Flyers. Had a couple of assists, had a couple nice defensive plays. They got something in that kid, man. I can definitely see a lot of them people. I can definitely see a lot of Flyers fans getting his jersey moving forward. Kid's a player. Anthony checking in saying, hey, what's up, Anthony? How are you, buddy? I'm just going over the third period right here. As we get down here, again, Frank Verrato at 11-12 puts the icing on the cake for the Anaheim Ducks. He goes in with a snapshot, shorthanded. Adam Henrique with the assist, puts him up 7-3. And then, of course, Joel Farabee, with about 3 minutes left to go in the game, puts one past the Anaheim netminder. Bobby Brinks, Noah Cates with the assist. That's how your scoring would end up. And the final is a 7-4 Anaheim Ducks win. Anthony said, I missed the game because I was watching the PSU game. Believe it or not, I was watching the Flyers. I didn't even watch the Penn State game. I heard Tom McCarthy was on the call of that game, believe it or not. I don't know who was with him, but I know they said Tom McCarthy was on the call. Stephen Conway says, Brinks cross-checking the third, essentially ended the comeback. Yeah, it did. But I look at it like this, guys. If you're looking forward to it, like I said, coming up next with the Flyers, I mean, they got Rob Brindamore and his crew. They're getting ready to come in. And once they come in, man, that's going to be a tough game for them. If you're looking, the next game is today's the 28th, so 2 days from now, the 30th. Yeah. So they play the Hurricanes here, their next game. So I look at it like this, guys. It's a tough one for us to swallow. Anthony says he was, but the offense kept struggling. Yeah, if you're talking about Penn State, yeah, that's an every year thing. But, well, guys, listen, I have to pay some bills. When I'm done paying these bills, buddy, I will be back.
All right, guys, it's time to talk about Sherry's Tickets. Sherry'sTickets.com is easy to use and has no hidden fees. The price you see is the price you pay. Pay less and play more with Sherry'sTickets.com. Save even more by using the exclusive promo code EOP10. That's EOP10. Do not pay hidden fees and save 10%. Why use any other ticket reseller and get those hard-to-come-by tickets to the big game? If you need a more personal touch, give them a call at 610-494-5050. That's 610-494-5050. Sherry'sTickets.com also has great theater and concert tickets that are hard to get your hands on. Remember, do not overpay and save with the best at Sherry'sTickets.com. Save 10%.
Alrighty, guys. Guys, also don't forget our generous other sponsors that we also have. Philly Sports Trips, guys. Make sure you definitely get over there and check it out if you're an Eagles fan. Flyers fan as well. They should be getting ready to put up the price for the Stadium Series against the New Jersey Devils in February. I'm definitely seriously thinking about doing that. I think you guys should too. Philly Sports Trips, they are the creme de la creme, man. Let me tell you. I did the trip down to D.C. a year ago. Had the best time of my life. Like I said, the tailgate alone was worth the price I paid. And speaking of tailgates, you can't beat it. Right at Live Casino, every home game, you can go to Live Casino, 2-hour tailgate before the game. You can just basically walk right over to the stadium right after you're done. Or if you don't have tickets, you can sit right in live and watch it right there in their fabulous sports book. So you can definitely cannot go wrong with PhillySportsTrips.com. Also, they got the trip going over to England next year for Phillies Mets. They got the rest of the Eagles schedule this year. And like I said, Union as well. They do Union, also do Philly spring training. You might want to be looking out for that. So just a little heads up there about Philly Sports Trips. But definitely, if you're a hockey fan like me, look into February 17th, Flyers Devils. It's actually 2 games being played there. Outdoor series. You have Flyers Devils on Saturday night. Sunday afternoon, you have Rangers Islanders. So if you're a hockey fan, you can get both games. If not, definitely try to do. I definitely am going to try to do the Flyers game. So that's Philly Sports Trips. Also, guys, David R. Cherry. Make sure if you guys need any type of legal representation, you can call David at 610 here it is right here. 610-565-0300 for workers' compensation, motor vehicle accidents, personal injury, and criminal law. Make sure you reach out to David R. Cherry at www.cherryinjurylaw.com. Tell them that the guys at EOP sent you over there, and he will treat you like family. And guys, last but not least, if you are in the Ridley area or Delaware County area, stop off at Dolan's Bar. I mean, you never know who you're going to run into. Last year, this time, game 2, last year, went to Dolan's Bar, me and my wife. The dude was there. That's right. Lenny Dykstra was there, just hanging out, being Lenny. It was a good time. Got a chance to meet Nails and could have been a nicer guy, man. So, they have Quizzo, music, memorabilia giveaways. And like I said, from all 4 of our Philly sports teams, you never know who you're going to see when you go to Dolan's. So, guys, make sure you check out. There are our great sponsors. So, with that being said, guys, I want to say it again. Flyers lose. They lose today 7-4 to the Arizona Diamondbacks. There is a plethora of games on the NHL schedule. So I'm actually going to bring it up for you guys. I'll go over it real quick. I don't believe that there was another afternoon game, but I'm going to double check that for you guys right now because I was so busy into the Flyers game. They really didn't show any other highlights. Usually they do. No, that was the only game so far this afternoon in the NHL. Tonight, the Panthers host the Seattle Kraken at 6 o'clock. Red Wings and Bruins in Boston. The Winnipeg Jets are in Montreal to face the Canadiens. The Senators are in Pittsburgh to play the Penguins. Islanders are in Columbus to play the Blue Jackets. And of course, out there on the left coast, the Rangers head to Vancouver to play the Canucks. And the Vegas Golden Knights, they are in Los Angeles to take on those Kings. So there is your Saturday night schedule for the NHL, guys. Again, I am Mike Lauro. You can see me tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. with Pat Bernard and Al Safiri for P&M and the AM. Make sure you tune in, guys. We will definitely be going over this Flyers game with you. The Sixers tonight. Also, we're going to look ahead tomorrow to that big matchup down in D.C. for Eagles, Commanders. So join us tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. Again, I'm Mike Lauro. Thank you once again for tuning in. You guys have a good night.